I pull down the visor. I look at myself. My whole mouth, all my shit was red.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. I've got another fun, special video for you guys today. This is coming from an Instagram story questionnaire. So a few months back, what is it? It's March or May? It's May now. This was probably January or February. I did a questionnaire just with my subscribers on Instagram. I posted on my story one of the polls where you can choose like yes or no, and I did never have I ever. I won't share any names. I don't ever post names when people submit their answers or personal stuff. I never expose anybody like that. But I do have the screenshots just for the numbers that I'll post on here. This video is for my answers. So I have all the questions written down here with some notes for myself of what my answers are. I took a second before I recorded this video. I went and looked back over these questions and dug in the back of my brain to find some good answers for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy them. So let's get into it. So we'll start with some of the less juicy ones. Question number 1. Never have I ever done psychedelics. I have not. I want to so bad though. I'm not even joking. There was a recording of an incident where it was like 20, 25 people. I don't know how many people. They all went out and did mushrooms together in the same setting, the same group, and they all saw the same things. Now, I've never done any type of drugs. I've never smoked, any of that stuff. But I know from research and from friends, if you get drunk with 10 other friends, you guys all have different feelings, all different experiences. Someone's crying in the corner, someone's calling their ex, someone's trying to fight the fucking TV for no reason. It's all different. But with psychedelics, if you do them within a group, within like people that you trust and people that you know well, you can have similar experiences, which to me is fascinating. And it makes me think that there's more to it than just the fun part of psychedelics. Like that's what makes me want to try it. So my answer, no, I have not done psychedelics, but I want to. 78% of you have also never tried psychedelics. That's we gotta change that, guys. We all gotta get together and just love each other. Just have one big trip. Question number 2. Never have I ever smoked weed. Never. I have never in my life smoked weed before. I've been around it all the time. Growing up, everybody around me smoked weed. It was just never something that I wanted to like be a part of, I guess. I thought that it was a cooler thing to do opposed to like drinking beer or alcohol, anything like that. Smoking weed was more like the more mature choice of a drug. But when I was young, I've never drank, I've never smoked. When I was young, I played sports a lot. Like that was my life, sports. And in my mind, I always just thought that any type of substance like that would not let me be at the best of my abilities. So I never touched anything just because I was so focused on sports, and I'm so competitive. I just wanted to win all the time. That's all I was worried about, was winning. And so I didn't have time for drinking on the weekends or smoking or doing anything crazy like that. So I have never smoked weed. My followers, to answer this question, 66% have smoked weed. So I got a lot of potheads on my Instagram. Number 3, never have I ever gone skinny dipping. I've not, no. So when I think of skinny dipping, I think of like middle school, high school, like you get a group of friends, some guys, some girls, you all go to the local pool after it's closed, 3 in the morning, everybody gets naked and jumps in the pool. When I was in high school, at 3 in the morning, I'm either playing video games or my ass is asleep. I'm not hopping no damn fences. at nighttime trying to get caught by the damn local security guards. I didn't have time for any of that shit. I've never gone skinny dipping, but I have, I guess, I don't know if you can call it skinny dipping, in a jacuzzi. I don't know if that counts. It was just me and one other person. Nobody had on clothes, so yeah. Number 4, never have I ever been arrested. That's what I was just talking to y'all about. I'm not going skinny dipping so that I can get arrested. I wasn't smoking weed in high school so I could get arrested at school by this damn. I wasn't too much of a rule breaker as a child. Now I'm not gonna say that I never did anything wrong, because I did a lot of shit that I could have got arrested for if I would have got caught. It's just that I don't know, I guess I was fortunate enough, or I was sneaky enough just to never, have any run-ins with the law when I was doing something I shouldn't be doing. But when I say that, I ain't never done no wild shit that would give me jail time. So no, I've never been arrested. But I did write down the closest thing I've been to arrested was when I went to China, and I didn't have a visa when I landed. I don't know why the fuck they let me on the plane in the first place without a visa, but they held me, I don't even know what you would call it, just in a little section, no bigger than this damn table. I had to stay there for 24 hours until the next flight back to the US. So, I mean, I guess if anybody asked me, yeah, I was locked up in China. So don't fuck with me. Number 5, never have I ever been in a fight. I've never been in a fight. I wrote down on here that, like when I was young, like elementary school, middle school, I had gotten in some like little tussles, like little wrestling matches with kids in the neighborhood, but that wasn't shit. You gotta ask some people from back then, but I'm pretty sure I may have punched one of the kids in the face. I don't remember it at all. I have no recollection. I remember like we're wrestling at his house over some stupid, I don't even know, but it was like in the front yard, and I whooped his ass. Again, as much as you can consider it an ass whooping, as I was like 8 years old. But that's the extent of my fights in life. I've never been in a real fist fight with anybody. Number 6, never have I ever been on a plane. I've been on a plane, in a plane, under a plane, all around the damn plane. I work at an airport, so I work for United. I asked that on here because some of my coworkers at United have never flown. Like, they've never been on a plane before, and they work for an airline, which it blew my mind. And so I asked that. 86% of my followers have been on a plane, but that still leaves 14% of people who have never flown. That was 170 people that answered on my Instagram have never flown before, which I get it. Like, if you're not into traveling, or if your family was never into traveling, or if funds aren't, how you want them to be, yeah, traveling can be expensive, I get it. But I don't know. I think I took my first flight when I was maybe 15 or 16. And ever since then, I mean, it's like I've wanted to see every destination in the world. And that's what kind of led me to working at the airport. So I don't want to get off on a tangent on that, but been on a plane, yes. I've been on hundreds and hundreds of planes. Number 7, never have I ever been skydiving. What do you think? You think I've ever been skydiving? I have not. I have not been skydiving, and I'm so upset with myself. So the first time I went to Hawaii, we had plans to go skydiving. We had the day set, we had the company picked out, all this shit. And I think it was just like the day before, or maybe it was earlier that day, everyone was just so tired from the sun and from just bullshit, just baby ass excuses, and we never went skydiving. And I would never forgive any of them for that. The only reason I feel like why I haven't been is because I've been back to Hawaii once after that, but I want to go skydiving in a destination where it's like, it'll be something beautiful underneath me. Like as I'm falling, I want to see something insane. You know, yeah, I could go skydiving here in Kansas. I don't want to look at wheat. I don't want to see horses underneath me, you know, because you gotta go out to the country to do this shit. You can't do it downtown. So I've never really looked into it since that trip in Hawaii. Number 8, never have I ever been to a foreign country. Yes, I've been to 20 of them things, all because I've worked at the airport. Before I worked at the airport, I think I only went to 2 countries, which one of them, Puerto Rico. It's a country, yeah, it's like a territory. I count it as a country. Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic. Those are the only 2 places I've been out of the States. Canada, I guess. I went up to Vancouver. When I lived in Seattle, before I worked at the airport, I went up to Vancouver. So I'd been to 3 countries before I worked at the airport. So since I worked at the airport, it's been 5 years now. I've been to 17 countries. I take advantage of that shit. People up there know my name. They couldn't point me out in a damn lineup because I'm always traveling. I always have people to cover my shifts so that I can take my ass to Istanbul. I've never been to Istanbul, but you get what I'm saying. Yes, I've been to other countries. Let's see what the Instagram had to say. What was the question? Foreign country. 71% of people have been to a foreign country. I think it's an excellent way to learn about yourself, to just experience different cultures and different people and just see different settings. It'll really help put things into perspective. So I highly recommend it. I love traveling. I cannot wait until my knee is better and traveling restrictions are up so that I can get the fuck out of Kansas and out of the US. All right. Now that we got some of those out of the way, we're gonna dive into some of the more juicy questions. Number 9, never have I ever lied about a relationship status. Yes, I have. But mine is for the opposite reason. So I've never really been in like a relationship to where I'd have to like lie about it. But I have lied about being in a relationship. Like I would tell girls, yeah, sorry, I'm taken, or you know, I'm seeing somebody. Even if I wasn't, even if I ain't talked to a girl in 2 months, I still, if I'm not interested, then that's my go-to excuse. And most of the time it's not like debated or like they kind of give up after that. But yeah, I've lied a lot of times about my relationship status just to keep from talking to someone. I don't know how people took it, if they when they saw the question, if they were thinking, if they've lied about it, saying like they were in a relationship and told someone that they're not, or if they used it how I did. But 54% of people have lied about a relationship status. So 635 people are telling some fibs out here. But sometimes it's necessary. I mean, it's not like you're doing it to hurt somebody, but you're doing it to help your damn self, to keep you from having to entertain or just have a conversation that you don't want to have, which I feel like is not a bad thing. I don't know. Number 10, never have I ever filmed a sexual moment. I have, yes. I'm gonna be honest with all these questions. The majority of the time, it's on my phone, just so I know that it's not gonna be shared around or sent to, you know, this person, that person. That's not how I get down. I don't ever send out nudes. I don't ever try to embarrass people or hold shit for blackmail. I don't have time for all that. That's petty. And that's just a lack of trust. Like that's like a slimy type person. Like I've never been that way. So, and I feel like any of the girls that I have filmed a sexual moment with, they know that. And so they're not tripping. That I have the content. It's just for me, you know, just to be able to look back on memories and shit and reminisce on different times. There was one, I think it was once or twice that I allowed one girl to use her phone. But even then, it was nothing crazy. It was just a little short, little fun video. But yeah, 52% of my Instagram followers have filmed a sexual moment. 601 of them. So if you go through my page and you look at my followers, 601 of them got some damn sex tapes out there somewhere. So, I'm not showing the pictures or any of the names of the people who have filmed, but as I scrolled through the names, I was surprised about some of these people who have and some of the people who have not. Some of the people who have never filmed before, I'm pretty sure I've seen them on YouPorn before. I don't know. It caught me off guard to see who has and who hasn't. So number 11, never have I ever called a partner the wrong name. 64% of my followers have never called a partner the wrong name. I have. Now, this question could be confused a little bit. I don't know if some people took it as like during sex or something. When I posted it, I just meant like in general. Like, have you ever just been hanging out with somebody or, you know, doing whatever and called them the wrong name on accident? So I don't know if these numbers are skewed a little bit just from misunderstanding. I have though. Mine was in an argument. This was, I don't even remember how long ago, probably 7-8 years ago. I had just broken up with this girl. I say broken up, like I guess we dated for like 5 or 6 months. And she was crazy. She was crazy as hell. Just arguments every day, wild shit. Like, I'm pretty sure she was bipolar. And we would always get into it. So I was done with all that. Cut to, I'm talking to this different girl months later, and we had got into it about something, and she was on my ass about, I don't know what. And I turned to it. So the new girl, you guys will never know who these are. The new girl, her name was Whitney. The old girl, the crazy one, her name was Lindsay. So I'm like, in the heat of the moment, I'm trying to keep my cool and shit. I'm trying not to blow up. And she's just nagging at me. And I'm like, Lindsay, stop. And as I say, I see who I'm talking to, and I'm like, fuck. And she's just looking at me like she has no idea. So I'm like, but she was aware of Lindsay. She knew who she was. And so I just had to save I was like, well, that's who you're acting like right now. That's how you want to make me feel? And oh man. So that was the only time I've ever called somebody the wrong name. Since then, it's either I'll call you baby girl, cutie, sweetie. I don't use names no more. I use pet names. Number 12. Never have I ever hooked up with an ex's friend. I have. Now, this was kind of a setup. I feel like I was set up. So this was probably 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago, something like that. I had been talking to this girl for a while. Her and I, we were hella cool. We had hung out. We had messed around for months. I mean, but it never got serious. It was like we always had other shit going on, and we were never worried about like putting a title on us. So everything was just good. It worked. But we stopped talking after a while. I think maybe she had found a boyfriend there for a second or something, and so her and I just kind of, grew apart, and everything. It was all like there was no hard feelings or anything. And so back in the day, look, I know I'm all over the place with my stories, but back in the day, I used to do tattoos. Okay, I did tattoos for like 10 years, and I did some of this girl's tattoos. All right, so she would come to me when she wanted some ink, and one day after we had stopped talking, she came over to get a tattoo. I opened the door, and she has this sexy ass friend with her, and I'm like, okay. I try to just ignore it. I'm not even that type of person to where like I'm gonna try to get back at her by going through this other girl. I'm whatever, I'm here, it's time to work, let me do this tattoo. And so, we do the tattoo, we're all kind of, talking here and there, and after the tattoo's over, they both leave, and then my friend, the one I did the tattoo on, she texted me and was like, such and such said you're kind of cute. And I'm like, why would you do this to me? Why you don't just hang a piece of meat in front of a damn lion and act like he's not gonna take a bite? So from there, myself and her friend start texting, we talk a little bit here and there, and we end up hanging out, and one thing leads to another. This story will come back up later in the video, just wait. Number 13, never have I ever had sex in a car. 72% of my followers have had sex in a car before. I'm curious, what is your guys' car of choice? I'm not even gonna ask that. 859 freaky ass followers of mine have had sex in a car before. I am one of those followers, okay? Now, this is probably my all-time favorite like sex story that I have, just because it was to me it was the funniest shit ever. So I was talking to this girl that lived in LA. I was out in LA, and we went to a Christmas party for a makeup line. The makeup line was called Dose of Colors. I don't know if any of you girls know it. I didn't know what the fuck it was. But it was, it's a pretty big makeup line. And they had a Christmas party, and we went to it. This was towards the end of our little run. This girl and I, like, we could tell shit was just kind of fizzling out. We weren't, like, it just wasn't as enjoyable as it was in the beginning. So everything's good throughout the day, throughout the party. As we're leaving, the car, like, it was all valet parking, all that shit. We get the car, we drive off, and we go just around the corner a little bit and park off to the side in some, like, it was like 2 a.m, so everything's closed. And we parked at like some industrial parking lot. Nobody was there. And we sit there and we talk a little bit, and one thing leads to another. She hops over in the passenger seat, this and that. We're doing our thing. But so the whole time, like, obviously when you're having sex with somebody that you have feelings for and are comfortable, you guys are kissing, you guys are making out the whole time. And especially, like, she was on top of me. So we're just kissing, all this and that. Okay, so I say all that because we're done. We finish. She hops over in the passenger seat. I think we had to have, like, continued talking about something like an issue that was going on between us, or maybe we talked about, like, how we aren't working out anymore. Like, we're not gonna be doing this too much longer. I don't know. She was like teary-eyed, like she was crying, and so it wasn't like the most uplifting spirits in the car afterwards, But anyways, we pull out of there, we drive off and go to a little convenience store, just a little fucking AM PM, I don't know. And we pull up, and this whole drive, like, we're not looking at each other, like, it's a silent ride. We're going over to this convenience store just to go grab something to drink. And let me remind you, she's wearing like a beautiful dress. Okay, it was a Christmas party, so it was like real glittery, colorful, just like a super nice dress. I'm wearing a button up, slacks and shit. Like we both look very presentable. So we walk into the convenience store. Okay, we say hi to the guy at the register. We keep on going. We get our drinks. We kind of look around a little bit, maybe look at some snacks, this or that, whatever. Make our way to the front, hand our stuff to the guy. We pay for it, tell the man, appreciate it, have a nice night. Straight face all throughout everything, like nothing's wrong. It's just her and I, neither of us are really like in a good mood. So it's not like we're looking at each other, having fun, this and that. We get back to the car. I sit in the car and I look over at her. She has red lipstick smeared on her entire face. I pull down the visor. I look at myself. My whole mouth, all my shit was red. And I start dying laughing. I laughed so fucking hard. And she, when I said something, we looked at each other and she started busting out laughing, but she started crying because she was in a bad mood already and she was crying before. And so she was just like, her emotions were all over the place. She couldn't control her laughing and her crying. This was 4 or 5 years ago. I laughed deep laughs still to this day just thinking about it, because I just want to know what the cashier was thinking the whole time while we were sitting there straight faced just paying for our shit. We're sitting there counting money and giving it to him, just looking him dead in the eye. This whole time I look like the fucking Joker in a button up. She's in a beautiful dress and we just have makeup, lipstick smeared. Funny as shit. So to answer the question, yes, I've had sex in the car. Number 14, never have I ever had a one night stand. If you ask me, I would say no, because I feel like a one night stand is when you have sex with someone that you don't know before that night, or like you've never spoke to them before that night. Even if you know of them, maybe, okay, that doesn't really count. But like, that's not a friend of yours, and it's someone that you don't speak to again after that, like ever. That's what I feel is like a one night stand. Now, I have had sex with girls once before, but it's not like it's a one night stand to where like I ghost them and never talk to them again. No, it's just like, all just different situations, but it's never really been, to me, what I would call a one night stand. So my answer to that would be no. 59% of my followers have had a one night stand. 658 people that voted have had a one night stand before. I see how the shit happens, but I've never, I don't know, if it's someone that I'm gonna get busy with, then it's gonna be someone that I'm gonna want to get busy with again. Unless like I'm in a different city or something, or like, and it's just like shit just happens that quick. But even then, that's happened to me before. But I keep in contact with them, or like I've hung out with them like the next day or something. It's never just like, oh, like I don't need to know your name, you don't know my name, but let's go do this real quick, and then act like it never happened. I don't get down like that, but I'm not knocking it, but I just have never had a one night stand. And last but not least, number 15, never have I ever had a threesome. Let's see what my followers are talking about. Let's see really what they say. 72% of my followers have never had a threesome, which leaves 335 of them that have had a threesome. Now, I in my life have had 2 threesomes. Let's go back a few questions ago to never have I ever hooked up with an ex's friend, okay? So with that whole situation to where I was talking to the one girl, her and I stopped talking, she brought her friend around, her and I started talking. This one got kind of jealous, you know, started to remember this or that, I don't know. But she was like, I need to be a part of this. So I had talked to this one and I was like, we can, you know, we're all friends. We could, what are we doing? You guys know about each other, first of all. Why is this not a group activity? And so that was one of them. You guys let me know what you think about this video. If you guys want to participate in upcoming questions and shit that I do on my Instagram, I'm always trying to have fun on there. Make sure you guys follow me and chime in. I appreciate you guys watching. This has been Never Have I Ever with AaronBaker.
It sound right, boy.